68 million years before us, Earth did not belong to humans. On land, in the sky, and beneath ancient seas, other rulers held the world.
Travel far enough back, and the world becomes unrecognizable. A lost continent opens below, greener, warmer, and far more dangerous. This was the age when monsters ruled Earth. On the floodplain, the first giants rise with the light. For the young, survival begins beside moving mountains. The horned defenders are awake, and nothing approaches them lightly. Armored bodies move low through the ferns like living fortresses. Even the smallest lives are already at work. At the riverbank, danger waits without moving. And in the shadows, smaller hunters test the edges of every mistake. Above them all, another ruler steps into the morning. This world is bigger than the plain. It reaches all the way to an inland sea. Below the surface, ancient shells drift through older food chains. And beneath them, something much larger is already hunting. The king of the land has not appeared yet, but its weight already has. The herd moves first, because the herd cannot afford to wait. Life runs underfoot as the giants pass overhead. Not everything in this sky age flies. Some of it dives. The shore has hunters of its own. And where the plain opens, the horned giants begin to watch. On land, the balance can break in a single moment. Now the tyrant finally steps into view. Its head is a weapon before it even bites. The hunt begins with scent, not speed. The herd understands before it runs. When one body moves, hundreds of feet answer. Around the young, the wall closes fast. Even the armored giant prepares for impact. Small predators take what the giants leave unguarded. For the tiny survivors, every shadow is a border. The tyrant does not charge blindly, it studies. Each step carries the force to change the ground itself. Predators do not look for heroes, they look for weakness. But a herd can turn weakness into distance. Then patience becomes motion. The floodplain explodes with mud, noise, and panic. One bad angle is enough to waste the attack. And numbers save what speed could not. The king pauses, but hunger does not. Elsewhere, another giant is already descending on opportunity. The sky above the dinosaurs belongs to something else entirely. To fly at this size is to dominate by presence alone. Its shadow touches the plain before its feet ever do. Below the giant, smaller flyers rule the edges, and some birds survive by diving into danger. The early seabirds are fast, fragile, and always alert. But the true giant hunts the shore on foot. One strike, and even the ground yields prey. Standing still, it already looks impossible. The sky is layered with different kinds of control. Even small predators know when to flatten and wait. The coastline rewards anything that can read chaos. Where death washes in, flyers come down. In the shallows, the diving hunter works a different angle. Small wings survive by never wasting a gust. At rest, the giant still owns the horizon. And beyond the dunes, the world drops into a new kind of danger. The sea does not begin gently. It begins with shadows. If the land has tyrants, the sea has monsters. This is the hunter that turned shallow seas into killing grounds. Its arrival is enough to tighten the whole water column. But not every marine killer is a reptile. Older lives still drift through these waters, vulnerable and abundant. Then another giant rises, built for a different kind of strike. Not everything large in this sea is hunting. And even the cleanup crews carry teeth. Near the rocks, the diving bird crosses into predator territory. The mosasaur turns with the authority of an apex body. One bite in this world is often enough. The turtle survives by size, armor, and calm. The long-necked hunter reaches where others cannot. In ancient seas, even the currents carry prey. Speed this large feels almost unfair. Below the giants, 1,000 smaller lives keep the sea alive. And once weakness appears, it is never ignored for long. Survival here is often just moving through the violence. At the surface, the sea reminds us how close power can rise. By sunset, the water looks calm again. It is not. At the shoreline, every kingdom collides. What dies on land can still feed the sea and the sky. The smaller scavengers arrive first, as they always do. Then the giant flyer takes control, and the land opportunists refuse to stay away. From the reeds, the river's old ambusher joins the claim. Even the tide becomes part of the feeding. At the margins, tiny bodies build their own survival. Size decides who eats first, but patience keeps the smaller predators in the game. Once water claims it, the carcass belongs to someone else. Below the feeding line, another hunter profits too. And beyond the surf, the sea waits for what slips out. The giant turtle passes through a scene built for others. The sky ruler feeds like a creature of the ground. Then the wind begins to erase everyone's confidence. When space opens, the small killers move fast. But now a larger authority appears. Everything below the top predator reacts first. At the edge of sea and land, the tyrant arrives last.
For millions of years, these rulers shaped the earth, each fighting the same battle to survive another day. They never knew their reign was nearing its end, and that their world would soon change forever. Long before humanity, Earth belonged to them, and their story still echoes beneath our feet.